So I want to talk about content creation because creating content can be very, very difficult. It's something I do for a living. In fact, I'm doing it on 5 websites, actually more than 5 websites. For my job, I'm doing it on 5 websites, and then also have my own photography website. I have this YouTube channel. I have different YouTube channels for work. I have an online photography conference that I'm planning. All these different places need content creation, and it can be overwhelming for somebody who just does it for a living versus just a person who does it for one website. So I kind of want to just talk quickly, give like a few tips that can really be helpful to create content, but not just create content, but also come up with content ideas, and find ways to see if the content is good or not good. So the first way is to take notes on the go. So you might be the type of person who really likes using notebooks, pen and paper. Bring a little notebook. They have something called field notes. They're these tiny little notebooks. You can get them anywhere. I've got a whole stack of them that I get from WordCamp. But you can use these little notebooks and just keep it with you and use that for any ideas you come up with at any point in time. That'll do a good job for you because you can just write down the content ideas. If you need to sketch out some layouts or graphic ideas, you can do that as well in your notebook. If you are not a fan of carrying a notebook, most people these days have cell phones, smartphones with them. So you could use something like an iPad. Now, I actually have my notes on my iPad right now that I'm actually referring to every so often. And that's what I do, is I come up with ideas and I put it in my Apple Notes, and that's it. You might prefer Evernote, you might prefer Google Drive, like Google Docs, you might prefer Google Keep or Dropbox Paper or any of those. But no matter what it is, use something to store your notes and reference it and keep an ongoing list. And I just like sort of cross off or check off ones that I've done so that I know I've done it and I don't have to do it again. Have a lot of ideas. This is the second one. You want to come up with a lot. You want to keep this list to be giant. Have a really big list. And the reason for this is the more you can create, the more you will have to use from, the more ideas you can give yourself. And you can also inspire yourself by having a big list. If you have a list that you really, really like, some of the content, but it may not be the best, you might inspire yourself to create better content based off of what you have in the list already. And if you want to be really, really creative with this idea of having a big list, is to write down 5 to 10 ideas every single day, even if they suck, even if they're crappy. You want to have 5 to 10 a day because that will train your brain to think of new ideas that are actually better ideas, and on a regular basis. Always be looking for new ideas, no matter where you are, no matter where you go. Always be looking. It's kind of the same reason why you want to have some way to take notes with, wherever you are. But always be looking for the next idea. It could be if you are a plumber and you want to find your next idea, you might need to just look in your backyard. I've got a pile of dirt in my backyard. I could write a whole bunch of content all about septic systems because I've been dealing with it for 2-3 weeks now. And I'm not even like a septic or plumber or anything like that. So always be looking for new ideas, no matter where you are. The dog food. Now, I'm not saying that literally. What I'm basically saying is if you want to create videos, you need to watch videos. If you want to create blog content, you need to read blog content. If you want to write books, you need to read books. If you want to be a podcaster, you need to listen to podcasts. There is one person that I know completely disagrees with that statement. Gary Vaynerchuk. Love his books, love his education. He does not read books, but he writes books. Now, he has a team of people to basically ghostwrite his books, meaning he talks to people, his ghostwriting team, about his ideas, and then they put the actual pen to paper, fingers to keyboard type of thing, You need to read books to write books, listen to podcasts to create podcasts, and so on. Now, once you have all of these ideas, the last thing I want to say is that you need to see what Google says about your ideas. Take the note that you wrote down, put it into a Google search term, and see what they come up with as a suggestion. If you look at a Google search result page and scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's going to be a variety of suggested searches related to what you originally searched. So if you typed in something about plumbers, and you go down to the bottom and it says something else about plumbers, that is something that people are actually searching for and what Google recommends for that sort of keyword that you came up with. So use that as your headline, and potentially fill in all the context behind that headline. So it's kind of a combination of something you came up with that's sort of bettered by Google's smart algorithms. So now it's your turn. Before I go, man, it is sunny out today. Before I go, I want you to let me know what you do to create content, to come up with content ideas. What do you do, and is it working for you? Is it not working for you? Comment and let me know.